Good morning once again. It's a rainy Monday in our place. So hopefully everyone is safe. Welcome back to the Pop and Wrestling Podcast with me, Coach 23. We're live, alive, and back in living color. So yeah, this is episode 7. Uh, we're back still. So yeah, hopefully everyone or everybody had a great weekend with them, no matter what religious group you're following or you're part of. Hopefully you had a blessed Sunday and a blessed weekend. Took 2 days off. Probably we'll do this. So we'll just do Monday to Friday schedule. Maybe once or twice a Sunday. But yesterday decided to take the day off as well. Lots of things happen in the wrestling business, wrestling industry during the weekend. I don't have anything. It's just my belt here. Um, But yeah, so Saturday here in Manila, Friday night in the States, Smackdown happened. Yesterday morning here in Manila, Saturday night in the States, AEW's Wrestle Dream happened. And we're just, for Wrestle Dream, we're just going to talk about, the career of one Bryan Danielson. As he said during interviews or storyline wise, he said that when he loses the AEW Championship or World Title, he'll be retiring full time. We'll go to get back to that in a bit. We'll talk also about SmackDown. Two or maybe probably two of the main storylines for SmackDown. That happened last Friday, Saturday here in Manila. And last part of our topic, we'll also talk fantasy booking for SmackDown, just for SmackDown in a way. And fantasy booking, this is my opinion, my prediction, my opinion. If I'm going to write things, so if you like it, that's good. If you don't, then I don't, really care in a way. I care in a way, but I'm not. I don't really care. If you know what I mean. And also talk about a little aspect called mental health, which will be an interesting topic later. So yeah, first up, let's go with the SmackDown review. SmackDown opened up with before it opened, there was a tweaks, tweet still tweeting despite it's called X. Um, Roman Reigns said, "We will acknowledge or will acknowledge. I'll acknowledge or will acknowledge him." A lot of speculation happened that him means Paul Heyman, but nope. He acknowledged one guy who returned last week on Bad Blood that helped them meaning Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, in their tag team match against the Bloodline, Jimmy Uso. So finally, Roman Reigns acknowledged Jimmy Uso. So this is really a full blown, in a way, face turn for both. Jimmy is actually playing the baby face in this opening segment for SmackDown. Roman Reigns is still, the tribal chief aspect of Roman Reigns, that I made money, we made this company money, we made our name relevant, and all those such. So those are the, in a way, heel aspect of Roman Reigns. But that's the Roman Reigns that fans finally fully embraced, whether he was a heel or a bad guy. But they respected him more as a good guy during that time, during the Bloodline. They acknowledged him. They threw him the ones in the air when Roman Reigns always, asked them to acknowledge him. Jimmy, like I said, Jimmy was playing the baby face in the part of this, this opening segment, and he's telling Roman Reigns, you're a tribal chief without a tribe. There's just two of us. We need help. And fans in South Carolina and Greenville, I believe, are already chanting "Yeet, yeet, 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 yeet." So that's that hit. That's that little hint. It's not a tongue twister. It just rhymed. It rhymed, right? So, but yeah, it then Roman Reigns said no yeet, that they'll be facing this problem alone. So they're adding speculation in the storyline of, are they going to add former members of the bloodline to join them against the current version of the bloodline of Solo Sikoas? Are they going to add Jay? Are they going to add Sammy? Because those are the two members of the Bloodline at the time, along with Solo, their five-man group, with the wise man Paul Heyman make them six. Um, Jay's currently embroiled, probably embroiled with a feud with Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Champion. That's part of the fantasy booking we'll add later, or we will talk about later. And yeah, and then segment ended. So Roman Reigns is a little bit adamant that they don't need help, although Jimmy said they do. Smackdown actually last Friday, Saturday here in Manila. Keep repeating that. Um, of the main event of a younger brother, Solo Sikoa, facing his older brother, Jimmy Uso, happened. But one of the top storylines of SmackDown that happened is or was that Kevin Owens was suspended indefinitely and with fine from attacking Cody Rhodes backstage. So they're making this storyline a little bit real in a sense, every sense of the word, because they, like I said, they pulled the heel turn of Kevin Owens, using social media, camera phones from fans. So they're making it a little bit real. That's why they Triple H said or Paul Levesque said during the Bad Blood, or even when he tweeted that they're doing this matter, or they're investigating this matter internally. They made the storyline, I guess, suspension of Kevin Owens. In a weird way, Kevin Owens was wearing a Dusty Rhodes T-shirt, uh, inside his hoodie. Was it a hoodie or cardigan? So whatever. He's wearing a jacket. So there's American Dream. Cody Rhodes tried to to face him off. Kevin Owens actually interrupted the tag team match before of Lash Legend and forgot the other girl's name. Sorry. Mental block and Jade between them and Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. And so he said, I'm suspended, but am I wrong? Am I the wrong here? I kept helping this guy for the past 2 years against the bloodline. In a way, like all heels in the wrestling world tells the truth. And as far as being fans, truth hurts. Kevin Owens did help Cody Rhodes facing the bloodline. I mean, Kevin Owens was feuding with the bloodline for like 4 years. He was feuding with Roman Reigns for 4 years, and they're like, and now he's just teamed with him. What's going on? So in he was heelish because Cody Rhodes is the uber babyface, heir apparent to John Cena in terms of the top face of WWE. And when I say face, it's mean the face of the company. And so Kevin Owens is the heel. Just similar with Drew McIntyre, when all Drew McIntyre in Raw was saying like bad things, or to the fans bad things about CM Punk, but it's actually true that Punk left, Punk came back. CM Punk was, telling bad things or negative things about WWE when he was away, then came back as a hero. So it's really, the weird dichotomy of who is really the should be the good guy and the bad guy. And in wrestling terms, as far as being a bad guy, when you tell the truth, you're the bad guy because you're telling the truth. And like I said earlier, truth hurts. Every truth hurts. Um, in wrestling parlance. So Cody Rhodes came out, tried to face off with Kevin. Security backs him off. Nick Aldis backs him off. Several producers backed him off. You can see like P.T. Williams, I believe, was there. Was Jason Jordan there? Nope, a lot of guys were there. So they were like backing them up. Randy Orton came up, tried to be the peacemaker between the two, tried to separate, push Cody Rhodes away. Let me handle this. Went to face Kevin Owens in the ring. He's trying to pull Kevin Owens away from Cody as well, from coming to Cody. And accidentally, Kevin Owens elbowed Randy Orton. And of course, Randy Orton, with the hot head that he had, or that he has, punched Kevin Owens in the mouth. So they have that. They have that aspect. Then they made a couple of backstage segments at the time, and Randy Orton requested Cody to leave. Let me handle this. Nick, let me handle this. Let me talk to Kevin. I know things got heated. Let me talk to him. And then Cody left. Storyline wise, I don't know if he did really leave. Normally they don't. They stay more, stay put. That's the backstage magic of WWE. So they left, and during another backstage segment between DIY, Champa and Gargano, we again sort of with um, Street Profits. Nick Aldis saw like far away that somebody's attacking Randy Orton, and it was Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens attacked Randy Orton backstage, called security, pulled him off, told Kevin Owens to leave. So I guess by doing this, but if you're like said, fantasy booking, are Kevin Owens and Randy Orton working together? Or does really Randy Orton at the stage of his career is like 44, I believe, 43 or 44? Does he really, I know he signed for like 5 years contract more with WWE, but is he going to be a heel? There's also that contract talks of Kevin Owens. I believe Kevin Owens' contract will end around January, February next year. Will he resign? Will this heel persona keep him in the WWE? We don't know. It's actually pure speculation. And if you ask me personally, I don't want Kevin Owens to leave and go elsewhere. I think he is built for WWE, both in storytelling and otherwise. I know he can be an asset or a help to other companies, let's say AEW or TNA, but I believe still that he is a WWE guy. He can be still a top WWE guy. He just need that edge comes back or that edge come back, just like that they had way back in 2015 and 2016 when he became the Universal Champion. We don't know. It's pure speculation. So whenever Cody and Kevin face off, we don't know. It could be a triple threat match at Survivor Series. Could be a one-on-one rematch between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens for the WWE title. It hasn't been talked yet, but of course Cody's slated to face Gunther for the Crown Jewel Championship at Crown Jewel this coming November 2nd or November 3rd here in Manila. Catch it in Disney Plus for legally do it. Don't legally stream or download. Watch it live. Um, who knows? Because when they booked, I know it's already slated or booked that's going to be Cody versus Gunther. I'm like thinking who should win. Cody Rhodes, as I said, is the Uber babyface. He's the top five merch seller in Fanatics. Gunther is, a strong individual based on performance. He lost like I believe he lost, if I remember in my head, lost to Ilya, Dragunov, he lost to Sammy, he lost to Braun Breaker, and those are the only names that I believe he lost to. In a TV match or something. Who should win in the Gunther Cody match? And I guess the out is Cody could lose with an interference, possibly by Kevin Owens. Gunther could lose if they really have initial talks of Goldberg, costing Gunther a match. Who knows? Like I said, every this is the good unpredictability story of WWE that trumps other any wrestling companies out there. They're making fans, even me, especially me, like I said, been a fan for almost 4 decades, still asking questions of which one. Because, like I said, if I'm a writer or if I'm a part of the creative, here's what I'm going. Let them think. This is a Paul Levesque cerebral assassin mindset. Let them think of what should be do what will be doing next. No one knows. So okay, so that's the SmackDown aspect or review part. Also another thing is I believe they're going to for a game 7 between Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, and those 6 match, 7 match series were really are really good. I don't mind see them. This I haven't seen Steamboat Flair. I know they're part of my generation of 80s 90s matches. and they claim that, oh, we wrestled 100 matches, between TV and live events or house shows. But for me, Andrade Carmelo is my generation for this one because they keep doing this series of matches and it never disappoints. It's always for ratings or star rating wise. It's always a 4-star match, 5-star match. If even you give them ample time, and that's how good both those guys is. Their chemistry is really really good, are really really good. Um, then yeah, Motor Machine Guns will be debuting next week. So that's the team of Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley is finally in the WWE. I believe that was his really goal to do. And yeah, for those casual fans, Motor Machine, eh, sorry, Motor City Machine Guns are former TNA Tag Team Champions. They're one of the best TNA Tag Team Champions. I believe they had great rivalries with Beer Money Inc., with Cowboy James Storm, and current WWE producer Glorious Bobby Roode. They have great matches, great tag team, and I believe they also have great matches with Christopher Daniels, Fallen Agent Christopher Daniels, and the phenomenal AJ Styles. But I just can't remember the top of my head. But they're really good tag team. They're a great addition to the tag team, picture on SmackDown. And one of the tag team match that I'll be anticipating and waiting will be them, MCMG versus DIY. It will be an awesome tag team match. So yeah, that's for the SmackDown review. Fantasy booking, let's talk. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but the main event, Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy. Solo Sikoa wins. Uh, Bloodlines attack Jimmy. OTC tried to save Jimmy, got beat up as well. Solo was finally able to hit another Samoan spike to. Did we? Did he hit? Yeah, I think it's the first time, if I remember, that he hit Roman Reigns with the Samoan spike. Then it ended with a picture of Jimmy telling Roman, "We need help," and that help could happen within the next 6 to 7 weeks before her Survivor Series in Vancouver, November 30th, I believe. Yeah, November 30th. So, yeah, that's SmackDown review, short but sweet. So, fantasy booking, and this is for me. Like I said, fantasy booking for me this is me and my opinion alone. Anyone agrees, good. Everyone disagrees, someone disagree, most disagrees. That's fine. You have your own opinion. You're entitled to as much as I am entitled to my opinion. So if I'm going to fantasy book the bloodline storyline for to stretch it more, WrestleMania 41 has this certain unpredictability. People are saying that we should be having like a triple threat match because of Rock's age. I believe he's nearing 60 now. Rock's age, so his time in the wrestling business performing as a wrestler, it's only limited. Should be a triple threat match between him, Cody, and Roman. But if I'm going to put Cody in a high profile match and to dwell him away from the bloodline storyline and stretch the bloodline storyline for a different or another for years to come, I'll have Cody face either, Randy Orton for the WWE title. That's the case if Randy doesn't face John Cena at WrestleMania because people are saying, and even Randy Orton Cena, if I'm going to face someone at WrestleMania, should be Randy. Randy say if I'm going to want to face Cena at WrestleMania, should be Cena because I believe that's the only match at one of the big four that they haven't done. I can't remember if they faced each other Survivor Series, but they did SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, other pay-per-views, bragging right that brilliant 160 minutes, no disqualification, false count anywhere Iron Man match at bragging rights in 2010, if I'm correct, 9 or 2010. It's a brilliant Iron Man match, one of my favorite Iron Man matches of all time. Cena won. And that was back when Randy was, the psychotic heel. If Cody doesn't face Randy for WWE Championship and then face somebody else, I would rather had Roman versus Rock at WrestleMania 41 in a one-on-one match. and you have your marquee matches, and you can have your Cody Roman or Cody Rock at WrestleMania 42 or SummerSlam or whatever is available. Of course, another a certain dirt sheet writer said that, oh, Dwayne Johnson's not gonna wrestle or perform at WrestleMania 41, which The Rock debunked in an Instagram or Twitter exchange that don't believe all those bull crap, bull bleep, believe what I say. So there's still that hope that Rock performs at WrestleMania. Guy's a billionaire. I believe he's almost a billionaire now. So I don't think he should be. He can, choose whatever project he wants to perform whenever he wants to. I guess he really, as part of the board of directors of DKO, he has his focus on WWE as well. So who knows, right? Um, Fantasy booking. If I'm going to stretch this, and this is going to be a hot take to some people because of the storyline that happened between Roman Reigns and a certain wise man. So during the spring or after WrestleMania 40, Paul Heyman was the one who stayed during the Bloodline storyline with Jimmy. Jimmy got attacked by both Solo and the debuting Tamatonga. They attacked Jimmy. Jimmy was sidelined for a few months. Paul Heyman stayed. And Solo was like saying things that, I'm the new tribal chief because the tribal chief said so. And this was the time that even in the storyline purposes, Paul Heyman can't get in touch with Roman Reigns. Trying to call him, doesn't answer. Trying to check him out, there's no answer. And until to the end or the part of Paul Heyman vehemently told, convictionally told Solo Sikoa that Roman Reigns is my tribal chief. He got attacked at Madison Square Garden, got triple power bomb on the table, and right now Paul Heyman is out of the picture. The only time I believe Paul Heyman showed up in on front of camera was like the Bloomberg interview with Bloomberg and Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. Um, right now, Paul Heyman's still not there. He has Jimmy. Of course, if you ask Paul Heyman, he's not a performer. He's not a wrestler. You can't, despite him doing this, I love you, Roman, which is Jacob's Fatu's doing with Solo. It's a different, wise man, different counsel. If I'm going to stretch them more, the storyline of Bloodline, and this is just based on Paul Heyman's character in wrestling, front of camera, in camera wrestling. Storyline Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is addicted in collaborating with, with Power. When I say collaborating with Power, when he debuted in 2001, after ECW went bankrupt, he joined the alliance with Shane and Stephanie McMahon, WCW, ECW against WWE. Then they lost. Internally, he's part of the creative team of WWE. Came back as an agent of the next big thing, Brock Lesnar. So he collaborated himself with Power because Brock Lesnar has power at the time. Um, Brock Lesnar became WWE champion, lost to Big Show. He became an agent of Big Show because of Power. Then he became an agent or a manager of Kurt Angle and Team Angle because Kurt Angle became WWE champion. So he's drunk and connected with Power. And he came back as a general manager, left again, came back as part of the of ECW, the WWE version of ECW, One Night Stand. Then after the second One Night Stand, the ECW came in, and he was part of the as the general manager of Smackdown or person of authority back then. Then he left WWE totally, and he came back in 2012 as the advocate of Brock Lesnar again. So he's part with that power. Brock Lesnar left during the pandemic. After like almost 8 years together, Brock Lesnar retired for a while. Roman Reigns came back during the pandemic, the Thunderdome era, and guess what? Who's with him? And became the council and the wise man to Roman Reigns. So he's addicted to power. And right now, as Jimmy Uso pointed out, Roman Reigns is a tribal chief without a tribe. But here's the thing. Here's why I'm going to say or what I'm predicting. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. If I'm right, then that's it. I'm right. He's drunk with power. He's connected to power. And yeah, sure, Roman Reigns has a power within WWE or whatnot. But guess what? Last year, go back to the you know, uh, Las Vegas show or promoting WrestleMania 40. What did Rock produce in the big screen? The Bloodline Family Tree. And guess what's under the Rock's name? High Chief, which is more powerful or more clout than a tribal chief. A high chief is, I rule everything. A tribal chief, you own a tribe. You rule a tribe. That's it. And like I said, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, call him whatever you want. He's part of the board of directors of TKO. So if I'm going to stretch this more, The Rock as the high chief trumps OTC, one tribal chief in Roman Reigns. And guess where I know you can say loyalty, but the thing is, Paul Heyman's character, Paul Heyman's character in front of the camera, he is, you know, he's loyal to power more than a person or a group. And this is just my take. This is my opinion. Could be a hot take, could be not. Like I said, this is how I predict him. I'm stretching this more. Imagine a Roman Reigns, heel Roman Reigns, or babyface Roman Reigns, against a heel Paul Heyman, leading Solo Sikoa or leading The Rock as the wise man on that part of the bloodline. So it's going to be an interesting, road to WrestleMania 41. I don't know it will happen. If it happens, then yeah, this is how I predict it. If I'm going to write this, and stretch it longer, that's how I'm going to write it. That's how I'm going to stretch it longer. So yeah, that's my fantasy booking so far for the Bloodline. Then next up, as I said earlier, AEW's Wrestle Dream Wrestle Dream show happened last well yesterday or last night, yesterday morning here in Manila. Um, and we're just going to talk one match, and that match is the last full-time match, according to him, of one Bryan Danielson. So Bryan Danielson has been wrestling for like 25 years now. Uh, he's from Aberdeen, Washington. Hence, his last match or full-time match or last match as a full-time wrestler happened in Tacoma, Washington as well, only like a few hours drive away from Aberdeen. Um, He trained under Shawn Michaels' wrestling academy at the time, alongside with other fellow trainees, the late Lance Cade, uh, Brian Kendrick, Paul London, I believe was also part of the Shawn Michaels trainee at the time. So Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy did produce a lot of great wrestlers, including Brian Danielson. Lance Cade went to be a develop. I mean, most of them, all four of them were developmental trainers, trainees at WWE. Although they chose the three more than Brian Danielson, they felt like WWE at the time felt Brian Danielson was a little bit bland, no personality, no character, just a wrestler, which he is. One of the best technical sounding wrestler of all time. You can put him in there with Bret Hart, Owen Hart, the late great Owen Hart, Kurt Angle, as top, technical wrestlers in wrestling. So he toiled the indies, independent scene. Most well known was his run in Ring of Honor Wrestling, not the Tony Khan Ring of Honor Wrestling, but the original version of the Ring of Honor Wrestling with CM Punk, uh, Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards, Briscoe Brothers at the time were there, Samoa Joe, Nigel McGuinness. Uh, had great feuds with those guys, with especially with Samoa Joe and Nigel McGuinness at the time at Ring of Honor. He's one of the longest reigning Ring of Honor World Champions there. I believe he had matches with Homicide as well there. Great matches there. You can see it on YouTube or other, where you can see wrestling matches. So Danielson is actually a Ring of Honor legend. Then when his time, was over in Ring of Honor wrestling, that's time that WWE came calling. So, uh, trademark issue. I know we know Brian Danielson is a good name, but let's create or recreate Brian Danielson. So WWE, after their version of ECW folded, uh, decide to open NXT. The first version of NXT was more of like a game show type thing than an actual wrestling show. So they have to compete for, with like obstacle matches, promo classes, and there you go. So at the time, he was hoping that his pro, because it was like a group of WWE veterans or pros as they call them, with NXT rookies, which included him. Notable names that he had on that group was Wade Barrett, current WWE Raw color commentator Wade Barrett, uh, Justin Gabriel, Skip Sheffield, which people know as Ryback, yeah, and Brian Danielson was there. Heath Slater was there as well, and among other, David Otunga was there, I believe, as well. Michael Tarver or Antonio, yeah, Michael Tarver, I believe it was his name. Didn't last that long. And yeah, so his pro, he was actually wishing that his pro was, because he was part, I believe, of it's either FCW or Deep South Wrestling or OVW, developmental deal. Then when they were called up to NXT, he was really hoping that his mentor will be William Regal, because at the time William Regal was open, in wrestling indie matches. I believe they had a match there, and he wanted him he looked at William Regal as a mentor, but he was placed or teamed up with the Miz, which is a funny dichotomy. It's a funny thing of a definition of irony, because you have Miz, who is, I won't say the prototype or prototypical WWE superstar or wrestler, but he didn't toil the indies that much or that long. And you team him up with the indie legend in Daniel Bryan or Bryan. You call him Daniel Bryan then. So it's a weird dichotomy. But the thing is, it worked. I believe that time when that NXT, that version of NXT was, happening, they are the highlight of NXT. The Miz and Bryan or Daniel Bryan, along with the heel Michael Cole. So because Michael Cole was turning heel because of the JR comparison still, the feud with Jerry the King Lawler, um, and it happened. So they feuded. Even there were teams that were feuded. They were like hitting each other, slapping each other, saying bad things about each other, and they were supposed to be a team. But things happen. I believe Daniel Bryan was voted out of NXT. Then eventually the winner was Wade Barrett for NXT season one. And then what happened during the time? Uh, one of I it's like one of the best debuts in Monday Night Raw when they debuted the Nexus at the time. So it's the group of NXT rookies teaming up together, and I believe they debuted when they attacked John Cena and CM Punk during their match. That's the popular. They really wrecked the ring. They took off the canvas, turnbuckles, destroy the table, punch announcers, punch. That was actually a famous bit, infamous bit of Daniel Bryan choking Justin Roberts, ring announcer Justin Roberts, with his own necktie. That got him fired because at the time, of course, of what happened between the Benoit murder suicide case, double murder suicide case, because there was there were more of choking out. That's why a short time. Even when you're choking with the ring ropes, choking them with the cable wires was a no-no in the WWE because of that incident. So when Daniel Bryan did that to Justin Roberts, the next day he got fired, or the few after the few next few days he got fired. So the eight member Nexus became seven. But that's the thing. Around that time, internet community or a lot of fans, even in the arenas, they're chanting for Daniel Bryan because they knew he got fired. And then, Wade Barrett challenges John Cena for a seven-man tag team match. That will happen at SummerSlam 2011 or 2010, whatever date it was. 10, I believe. Yeah, as long as it's SummerSlam. So challenges for a seventh-man tag team match at SummerSlam. Yeah, 2010, SummerSlam 2010. So it's the Nexus versus John Cena and Team WWE. And they were lacking one guy because I believe Great Khali was supposed to be the seventh guy, got injured, and during the show they asked Miz, and Miz was the U.S. champion at the time. This is be Miz start as the most must see superstar back then. He was the U.S. champion. Miz was as a heel was really hot at the time, and Miz came out at the main event and said no. Cena said no, Miz, you're not our seventh member. And who came out? The returning Daniel Bryan. Team up with John Cena's team. Eventually, it's an elimination match. John Cena's team won, but a lot of people saying it should be Wade Barrett's team or next year should have won. But Vince wanted a babyface ending, and that's what happened. Daniel Bryan came back. Then afterwards, he feuded with Miz for the U.S. Championship. This was the time when Miz was the Money in the Bank winner, and Miz was the U.S. champion as well. They had a match, I believe it's Night of Champions or Unforgiven. Forgot the pay per view, but this was the time that Daniel Bryan won the United States Championship. Debuted the Ride of the Valkyrie themes of the dun 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 dun. So because and they mocked him because it was like a Superman theme song, but they know what's the Ride of the Valkyrie song. So according to Daniel Bryan, that serves me aside from like a normal rock generic theme song. Ride of the Valkyrie was part of him, so he became that. Became Daniel Bryan. In a way, he lost in the shuffle because after the feud with the Miz, still the United States champion. I believe he had like a love triangle story between him and the Bella twins. Yes, he had a love triangle with the Bella twins, with Nikki and Brie. He kissed them both, which is I believe right now it feels weird or it seems weird because uh Brian Danielson is married to Brie. His sister-in-law is Nikki, so but ended up with Gail Kim. He lost the United States Championship to Sheamus at the time. Lost in the shuffle. Then I believe uh Money in the Bank, not 2011. Now my date and my year is correct. He won the SmackDown Money in the Bank briefcase, held it for a couple of months, had a losing streak, but came in to win the world title. After a match, I believe TLC match or TLC pay-per-view match between Big Show, World Heavyweight, Mark Henry, who was the World Heavyweight Champion, with his Hall of Pain character. He lost to Big Show. Big Show was beat up. I believe Mark Henry executed a DDT on a steel chair. Then Big Show was out. Who came out? Brian Danielson, Daniel Bryan with his briefcase, cashes it in on Big Show, and becomes the world heavyweight champion. He was still a face then. He was a baby face, a good guy then. That's where, if you saw on the internet, if you can see in the internet, the infamous picture, the famous picture of CM Punk as WWE champion, Daniel Bryan as the world champion, Zack Ryder as the US champion, Cody as the Intercontinental champion, Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston were tag team champions. And Beth Phoenix as the Divas champion. They have a picture, a good picture, a great picture of them. because they thought that they were the new bloods at the time because Cena, Orton, Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels were no longer champions at the time, and they were like the new ones, the new guard. So it happened, became world heavyweight champion, and this is the time he was teamed up with AJ Lee, and this was the start of the Yes movement. Not actually the Yes movement, the start of the Yes thing. Uh, he claimed in an interview that he got it from UFC fighter Diego and UFC legend Diego Sanchez because Diego Sanchez, before it comes out, he was yes, yes, yes. So for him, he did it over like yes, yes, and of course, he carried the world heavyweight champion for like a good 4 to 5 months. He lost it to Sheamus in 18 seconds at WrestleMania Miami, WrestleMania 28, in the opening match. Guess AJ Lee bell already rung. Then when he's when it came to face Sheamus, got bro kicked, lost it in 18 seconds. So yeah, afterwards he feuded with uh CM Punk for the WWE Championship. Still, as a team with AJ Lee. Then AJ Lee eventually became a general manager. Daniel Bryan had anger management issues along with Kane, and the rest, as they say, is history. And they became a popular tag team called Team Hell No. Held the tag team champions for a long time, almost 10 months, I believe, 9 to 10 months, until they lost it to the Shield. Uh, Version or the Shield, yeah, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, but they lost it to the team of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, the tag team championships. Eventually, that's the time he became really, really over because he felt like he's the weak link of Team Hell No because he's small, and then he became again uber popular. John Cena at the time WrestleMania, I'm sorry, SummerSlam 2012. He challenges. Was it 2012, 2013? I believe 2013. Yeah, 2013 now. So they challenge him. Yeah, but after Wrestle 2029, so 12 to 12. So John Cena, eventually chose him as his opponent at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship, and he beat John Cena cleanly there with Triple H as a special guest referee, and this embroiled the start of the B plus player storyline between him and the Authority. Triple H and Stephanie, Randy Orton against him. He won the WWE Championship, I believe, a couple of times or one time again in a Hell in a Cell, but overturned. Still became a popular. I believe this is the time he got teamed up with CM Punk as the best in the beard team goat, as they call. I believe so. They feuded with the team of the Shield. They feuded with the White family. Eventually, they split up. Then Brian Danielson or Daniel Bryan feuded with the White family himself until the Yes movement started. And this was the time that fans at the Royal Rumble 2013 they were really adamant of having Daniel Bryan as the winner, but he didn't came out because he won against Bray Wyatt back then. Then he came back. Like should be they were like hoping that he's part of the Royal Rumble. It didn't happen. They even booed. Sorry, give me 1 second. They booed him. They booed Ray for Ray. But the thing is, during the Yes movement, fans in the internet wrestling community, fans in the arenas, they really wanted Daniel Bryan to be, the face of WWE. And then Triple H said yes, as long as you beat me at WrestleMania. So they faced each other the opening match at WrestleMania 30. So Daniel Bryan himself went in to join defending WWE World Heavyweight Champion Randy Orton against Batista, the returning Batista, who was the Royal Rumble winner at the time, and Daniel Bryan. And eventually, Daniel Bryan hit Batista with the running knee, Busaiko knee, and made him tap out to the yes lock or label lock, and he won. He was able to defend the championship against Kane at Extreme Rules, I believe. Then eventually sidelined with a neck injury that needed surgery. So he was forced to vacate the title, and That's the time that his injuries were, coming in and out. He was able. He was cleared before the following year. He was able to wrestle at WrestleMania 31 in a great intercontinental ladder match. He won. Then after a month, he has to drop it again because injuries were really, really coming out. And eventually, he was forced to retire as an in-ring competitor. I believe before WrestleMania 32, he went publicly said that I needed surgery. My concussions were really, really bad at the time. It was a concussion issue, but concussion issue, brain issue connected with neck issues. Really, at the time, as a performer was done. Then he came back as an active competitor at WrestleMania before WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, teamed up with he was a general manager for Smackdown. He even feuded with Miz, but by default. So general manager versus a heel feud in a way. Then we'll talk about their feud some other time. It's a lengthy one. Then he came back as an active competitor before WrestleMania 34. Teamed up with Shane McMahon against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They won. Became a full-time wrestler again. Feuded with Miz for the while after WrestleMania 34. So this is way back 2018. Re-signed with WWE for a couple more years, and then he became a heel before, well, after, yeah, before WrestleMania 35. So still 2018. Became the WWE champion by defeating AJ Styles, and that's the time they produced the Hemp title. Then he was still with WWE during the pandemic 2018 35 until the Wrestle. He lost to Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania 35, and then became Intercontinental Champion. Feuded with a lot of characters like Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles still, um, Sami Zayn. He lost the Intercontinental Champion to Sami Zayn at the PC Center WrestleMania 36. He lost it cleanly to Sami Zayn. No, I don't believe he lost cleanly, but he lost it to Sami Zayn. Then still came back, still wrestled for the Thunderdome era. Became added at the main event of WrestleMania 37 between the match between Edge and Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship or Universal Championship in a triple threat match. And then at SmackDown out in spring, this was the tail end of his contract with WWE. He lost to Roman Reigns and ended his WWE career. Then, after a few months, he debuted at AEW and wrestled there full time. He has some good feuds, but mostly of his feuds, if you're going to ask me personally, his run in Ring of Honor was much better in a compared to AEW his run because there, yeah, he's a good feud with MJF. Then afterward, there's none. He's really just there to put wrestlers over to help the company. According to him, is to put the company over. Then of course injury cam comes back. He has, I believe, right now he has a massive neck issue that needed surgery because he said that he's feeling loss of strength in his limbs. His legs are losing strength, and that's why he has to retire. And I believe he's right now, according to him, but this is being worry on their AEW talks because they did it with MJF last year that they don't have a contract with AEW, but he resigned. So dubious though. And he said right now, last before All In or after during All In, that he's not wrestling. He's wrestling in AEW without a contract. And but he won the World Championship at All In Wembley. Defended it a few times against Jack Perry, against notably against Nigel McGuinness. And he said that when he loses the World Championship or AEW World Championship, he will retire full time. According to him and Tony Khan, he doesn't have a full time contract or a contract now with AEW. And yesterday or last night in Wrestle Dream, he lost to uh, John Moxley to become a four-time AEW champion. I believe he has the most AEW World Championship wins now, and Bryan Danielson career as a full-time wrestler is over, according to them. So who knows what the future holds? They ended the pay per view in a somber note of him being attacked with a plastic bag again in a steel chair, stomp from Cesaro or Claudio Castagnoli. Got wheeled up to an ambulance, and then that happened. So that's it. That's the full time career of that Brian Danielson taking an end. Who knows what will happen? Can he show up? Could he show up at the WWE? Who knows, right? Here's hoping as well. But yeah, congrats, Brian Danielson, to a great career. Whatever the future holds you, I hope that you, or as us wrestling fans, hope that you have a great time spending most of your time with your family now, with your two kids and your wife Bree. God bless. So yeah, that's it for Brian Danielson's retrospective career story. Now we'll also talk a bit about mental health issues. Um, Mental health right now is really being rampant. I, for one, will confess that I have anxiety issues as well. I suffered stroke, transient ischemic attack way back 2014 and 2015. So I'm a two stroke survivor. It's the mildest of stroke, but it was still a stroke. I lost like strength in my left hand, left face got droopy, lost strength in my left leg, left side. Uh, and yes, I have anxiety panic attacks as well. Sometimes it just comes out. Uh, I would have to confess that a few months ago I had one. I was, shopping at a grocery, and yes, it felt like an eternity. It felt like 2 or 3 hours, but I was just standing there for like 2 minutes, and my heart was like pounding so fast. My mind was like racing to a lot of things. Even had like guards in like the front of a mall that has you know blood pressure monitor to check my blood pressure, and it was normal, but my heart was still pounding. So it wasn't a panic and anxiety attack. Mental health issues, guys, is real. So we have to respect those people that has one, because we don't know. I mean, and this also comes hand in hand, especially for those who had mental health issues like me. I had one because it's scary. It really is. It could kill you. It could really kill you or hurt someone else, because you don't know what the other person's feeling. This is how we should, give respect to other people, because we don't know what they're going through. For those who doesn't have one, or they think they don't have one, um, it's okay to joke. It's okay to attack someone, candidly, you know, with humor if ever. But let's do it with respect. Let's do it with a little bit of restraint, because we don't know what that person is going through. We might think that, yeah, oh, even for me, I can make fun of people with mental health issues because I'm making fun of myself sometimes, or most of the times. That it's not true. Nasa isip mo lang yan. It's all on your mind. Because that's right. That's true. It's all on your mind. That's why it's called mental health issues. It's all on your mind. Like I said, why am I doing this podcast despite my limited number of viewers, subscribers, and whatnot? It's cathartic for me. As I said, my current living condition, I'm living with my wife and my kid. My other kids are living with my mom because they're studying there. I haven't gotten much time talking to my friends. I talk to my wrestling buddies at our GC, but it's different, talking to your best friends that you haven't seen in a long time. I haven't seen my best friends in a long time. Last time I saw my best friend in high school, best friends in high school was last year when my best friend's mom passed away, and I told him, "Don't be a stranger, talk to me because we have issues. We have to talk about our issues. I'm here for you as a friend, as your brother." And we haven't talked in a year, which is sad. And I'm trying to reach out to him. Hopefully, I can reach out to him within the next few months, next few weeks or so, because I really miss him. I really miss talking to my friends. and I don't have any outlet right now to do so. I guess I can talk to my mom. I can talk. Well, I don't want to talk to my kids about my issues because they're too young. I can talk to my wife, but there's also the times that my wife has her own issues that I don't want to bombard him with the issues of my own. There are people who can, there are people who can resolve their own mental health issues on their own. There are people who needs to talk to. If you need to talk to someone, do so. That's my advice. If you need to do something that will relieve you of your issues, do so. Whether it's collecting things like toys like me, like action figures like me, like comic books like me, like watching wrestling, like watching movies, like watching TV shows that relieves me stress most of the time. Do so. If you need to talk to someone, do so. At the end of the day, especially for those guys who have mental health issues, the only person that who can help you is yourself. It starts by admitting that you have issues of your own. It's important for you to share those issues as well. I mean, right now, if you're hurting, you can PM someone close to you or even a stranger and tell that person, "Can I talk to you because I need to, relieve this stress off my head?" And you can do so. I I respect people with mental health issues and I respect people who don't have one. But we have all our issues that we're working on. Whether you're still young, studying, whether you're already working with your family, of how to feed them, financially help them out. It's stressful. Don't get me wrong. I'm also stressed. I have work at night. I have to take care of my kid. I have to be healthy for my kids in the future to help them to see them grow. God, I am also, wishing to grow old more and see my grandchildren to all my kids. My eldest is 16. My eldest daughter is 11. My youngest daughter is 6. My youngest, kid is 1. I have to be 60, 70, or 80 years old just to see my grandkids with them, all of them. And I'm wishing that I can do that. Can still live for a long time and still do this and do that. Respect one another, guys. Love one another. If you can't like one another, respect one another. Respect those who have mental health issues or issues of their own. Especially if you don't have one, reach out to that person. Apologize if you know you wronged them. Apologize to them. And for those who had mental health issues, like I said, this is how you control it. My advice of how you can control it. If someone attacked you, like, in a comedic way, in a funny way, that, inaasar ka lang, he's trolling you, troll back, attack them as well. Fight back. It will help you out. Instead of sulking out, instead of, crying in a corner, saying, this person is attacking me, attack back. And if he attacks you back, attack him back as well. Until it's the time that both of you guys know it's time for me to say an apology. Fight back. Fight your mental health issues. Fight back on your detractors. Fight back who you think has wronged you. That will help a lot. Look for someone to talk to. Write something that's on your mind. Put it in a note. Burn it. Bury it. Rip it apart. That will help you in a cathartic way in for you to work on your mental health issues. And this is me looking at you right now. So talk to someone. It will help a lot. So yeah, strong and in a weird note, but yeah, I hope you guys had fun, especially if you're going to watch it in my YouTube page, YouTube channel. But yeah, again, this is the Pop and Wrestling Podcast. See you tomorrow for episode 8. And yeah, have a good day ahead of you. Have a great week ahead of you. And see you guys tomorrow. Same time. Not actually same time. Probably after 10, after Raw. See you guys tomorrow at the Pop and Wrestling Podcast with me, Coach 23. Adios. Bye.